psychic intellect and made you my puppet.
It's a bullseye! And here's your host, Jim Boyd!
Perhaps today is a good day to die. Prepare for ramming speed!
Sir, there's another starship coming in. It's the Enterprise.
Bone, your shoulder bone connected to you. Neck bone, your neck bone connected to you. Head bone, now hear the word of the Lord. Them bones gonna walk around.
Take a base of action. Green group, skip across the holding sector of each other.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47.
It's a trap.
.007 Triple X.
Bond, what do you think you're doing?
Keeping the British end up, sir.
Nobody does.
Sorry if I scared you. You'll like this bit.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. You all like this bit. Although, you're not getting me in a good mood today. I'll be frank. You're not. At least I'm not hacking my brains out. Not right now. That might be happening soon. You're not getting me in a particularly splendid mood. The hostages have been released. 3 hostages have been released. And how many do we give them in return? 240. I mean, like, bloody hell. Like, why does anybody complain that like Israel doesn't value Palestinian lives when Palestinians don't value Palestinian lives? 3 Jews equal, I think it's 240. Yeah, 240 rapists and murderers. It's a very bittersweet day today here in Israel, right? That people are not happy with this deal at all. For good reason. It's like, but you know, here's the truth. If you wanted to get the hostages back, however many there are alive, and this, by the way, this was a deal that we agreed to in May, I think. All right, if we want to get the hostages out, this is the only way to do it. Right? There's no without a teleport system. There's no way of doing it. Right? They got if you get close to them, they will shoot them, as we found out many times. These are fucking savages. Like Hamas, as we're about to see, Hamas are filthy fucking savages, and I have great difficulty separating Hamas from the Palestinian people. They seem to be pretty much one and the same to me. They are absolute fucking savages. It's like beyond any savage. We think we know savages, right? No. These people are, oh God, they're filth. I mean, like, they're filth beyond filth. I don't know what to tell you, mate. Like, and I think anybody who's been supporting them is like, well, Israel, whatever. They're filth too, right? And that's really how I feel, right? Oh man, I would love to get the cat on this stream, Danny John Jules, right? But they all But again, when you talk to any of these people, they all just scream the same bullshit lies to you. And if you, question them or deconstruct them in a way, they're like, you sneaky Jew. I mean, like, how much more racist can you get, right? But yeah, and like, man, the coverage I've been watching of it today on British media, and I go to the right-wing media. I go to GB News and Talk TV. So fucking clueless, like unbelievably clueless. People say, well, they killed hundreds of thousands. Not talking about Israel. No, it's like 40, and half of them were enemy combatants, which is a better civilian death ratio than anybody else has ever managed. Right? In the history of modern warfare, no one has got as low a civilian casualties as we have. Why? Because we give up any element of surprise. I tell you, the goal of the goal of this deal, I completely believe, is to get back any living hostages, and I just hope all bets are off, right? I hope all bets are off. Like, I mean, listen, this will be one of Trump's first big international things to deal with. Also, he's got to try and sort out Ukraine, which I think the much bit like again, nobody complains about the civilian death toll in Ukraine, right? Nobody complains about the civilian death toll in Syria. No one complains about the civilian death toll in Russia. No, it's only Jews. It's literally only Jews, right? Oh man, yeah. And they go, "Well, you call everything anti-Semitic." Because everything fucking is. Yes. Most, I saw somebody complaining like, "Well, you don't like Star Trek, you don't like Star Wars, you don't like Doctor. What do you like? Fucking nothing, because it's all shit. That's why, right? It's people are out there fucking minds, mate." Anyway. So let's. What do we have to talk about? I really got to catch up on a bunch of things, right? We got to talk about Doctor Who, even though no one really cares. That's really no one gives a shit about Doctor Who. That's. I think that's a news story. I think they're in deep into the apathy stage. I honestly, Rossley Davis could have pulled it all back together again. He just screwed it up, and literally every decision he made screwed things up. And I think there's rumors here. Do I have the links? Let me have a look. There's rumors that Joe Martin's coming back, and I go, well, that would be a stupid idea. I can see it happening, right? There's what other rumors are there? And they're bringing back the Schalke Doctor, but I think that's just for a phone game, right? But yeah, honestly, you can't. It's hard to find a stupider idea than bringing back Dr. Ruth, right? Who, I don't know, failed to make any impact whatsoever. She was a black woman, big black woman with a gun. Not very Doctor Who-y. I mean, okay, more Doctor Who-y than what was I going to say? Ncuti Gatwa, right? I mean, okay. If Joe Martin was Doctor Who and she sucked a dick, I would mind it marginally less than Ncuti Gatwa being Doctor Who and sucking a dick. Oh man, here's the thing: you can't make anything queer without it only being queer. Oh man, but literally everything he's done has been Rossley Davis has been a freaking disaster. Tap dancing Davros. And the episodes were low quality. Honestly, I think the Christmas special was probably one of the strongest. And did I rank them? Let's see what my ranking was. I think I did. All right after it went on, let's have a look. I got a Doctor Who rankings folder. Let's see if I remember to save it there. That's the first thing. Best of Davis Antenna, Dalek rankings, Capaldi rankings, Ian Chesterton. Okay. I wonder what Ian Chesterton was. Moffat top 10. Most rewatchable classic Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi, ranking Tom Baker. No, I don't. Should we do a ranking of it now? Maybe we should. All right, let's do a quick ranking of Ncuti. Although again, there's so I gotta look up an episode guide because I can quote you the episodes in order from 2005 to and most of the classic as well. To 2015 here, 2016. Doctor Who episode guide. There we go. 1 second. Wikipedia. Ncuti. Okay, fine. Here, let me just share this. Share screen. We're up to there we go. Yeah, maybe a bit smaller. Doink. So we got what we got. Church and Ruby Road. Now, I actually think that was probably one of the best ones. I mean, maybe because he wasn't in it much. I mean, it was reasonably gay, though. You can't argue with that. Space Babies was fucking awful. That's going to be at the bottom. Space Babies. Or maybe Devil's Called. Actually, no, Devil's Called was worse. Again, every creative decision Rusty Davis made. Oh, let's get Jinx Monsoon. That'll be brilliant. Boom was marginally better, but still a reasonably weak episode. 73 Yards fell apart completely. Right? Absolutely, completely. Didn't explain itself. Was just dumb. Dot and Bubble. I'm going to say that was better than Boom. Dot and Bubble. Rogue, me. Doctor Who doing a gay fantasy. Legend of Ruby Road. That's pretty bad. Still not as bad as Space Bases. Legend of Ruby Road. Ruby Sunday. Was it Sunday? And then the crushingly disappointing Empire of Death. I think I'm going to put that way. Let's make it even. Empire of Death. And then, so we also had, what's the name of the Christmas one they just did? Joy to the World. That was pretty good. That was one of the strong. The only real problem with that was Shooty Gatwa, who is completely not the Doctor. I'm sorry. 5. There was a point of doing that ranking. I can't remember now. The Space Babes. God, Space Babes was awful. But like, okay, even Church and Ruby Road, which is Joy to the World, which are the 2 best episodes, I would say. I would never. I can't imagine ever. Actually, I would have rewatched them if it went somewhere, right? Church and Ruby Road. I was really. I found a lot of it interesting. I found the change of tone actually kind of interesting, and again, it was not so shooty heavy, right? But I like kind of the fantasy, the Goblin King, the whole thing with the string, like the string science. I thought that was really kind of interesting. I even like the singing and the dancing. I thought this is an interesting new direction to go in Doctor Who. But then it just kind of like shat the bed on such a major level, right? It just shat the bed. Oh man, completely, right? I mean, like Space Babies was just pointless, and Space Babies. That's who it was made for, right? Space Babies, right? Devil's Called. Oh, yeah, let's get Jinx Monsoon in. No, it's a terrible idea, right? Boom was David Moffat. Can you do anything with this? Apparently not, right? Although, I have to say, the Boom was the episode with Verada Sethu in. And other than being hot, I mean, she's clearly hot. She really delivered in that episode. Same with Millie Gibson, right? Millie Gibson was the absolute strongest thing of this era, right? She's a great actress, right? I hope she does very well in the future, right? And also, yeah, she's smoking hot. What she is, she's a genuinely good actor. Actors Shooty Gatwa off the bloody screen. So there's 73 yards, man. It made no sense. It contradicted itself. And fell apart at the end. The villain was was a super right wing guy, but you didn't see him do anything right wing. I don't know. 73 Yards was a really disappointing episode. Only made better by the lack of Shooty Gatwa. I would say. Don Bubble. Yeah, Don Bubble. I'm putting up there. That's the best episode of the. And even that, had Shooty Gatwa crying in the end. So much crying. And again, that's what Shooty Gatwa thinks that acting is when Doctor Who cries. No. And then, the achingly awful Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death, which was, hi! Okay, everything we set up, we were full of shit, right? And Rogue. I forgot about Rogue. Fuck me. Oh man, I wish I could. Like Rogue was like Rogue. I put as bad as what's the order? As Orphan 55, right? In terms of like just destroying Doctor Who. Oh, the Church and Ruby Road, the gay dance scene at the beginning, which is a gay masturbatory fantasy, right? That's I'm in the wrong place. Hang on. desktop. Hang on, we'll do, was it Shooty? Hang on. There we go. Shooty rankings. I'll put that on the desktop. Actually, I have a folder for all this stuff. Don't do ratings, no. Rankings. There you go in there. In you go, baby. Fine. Shooty rankings. And look, basically, but again, nobody cares about this era, right? Literally nobody cares. There's little to no interest going on whatsoever. But we will be talking about Doctor Who tonight. Let's talk a bit about the was it the hostage release? The hostages being released. And again, it's bittersweet because, man, look, I'm very upset because I've said this. I think probably this is the third time I've said this on this channel. Right, I really genuinely believe that God sent the Jews a very, very heavy, important message with October the 7th, right? And I think that message was, stop being cunts to each other. It's not okay. I had this conversation this morning in my show because people are all pissed off about this deal, right? So I said to this guy, like, well, what do you expect? Like, what do you expect? God sent us this serious message, and there's been absolutely zero introspection about what's fucked God off. Why is God so fucking pissed off with us? Absolutely zero in introspection. The answer is very, very simple. Again, we talk shit. That's it. God, one of the central, I think probably the central law of Judaism is not talking shit about each other, right? Because essentially everything boils down to what we call achdus, or the oneness of everything, right? And the thing that destroys harmony, destroys oneness, is gossip, right? Malicious, defamatory gossip, right? And so again, I was saying, well, what do you expect? Like we have done no introspection, and for me, it's not hard to introspect. Like, we don't keep these laws, and we're in this state called exile, called Galus, which is basically it's October the 7th, right? October the 7th is all the greatest hits the Jews have had over the last 2,000 years, which is as long as this exile lasted. We were sent to this exile because we were cunts to each other and we didn't care, right? The central story of what caused the exile was this wrong guy was invited to the party, was thrown out, was very embarrassing, begged not to be. They did it anyway. But I really think it's everybody else standing around going, who gives a shit, right? I know God said don't do this, but who gives a shit, right? And 5 years ago, it's 5 years ago now, it's incredible. So I said, like, look, I was saying this to my friend in synagogue this morning. I said, look, we had the rabbi of the shul take I didn't say it in this language, but take a large diuretic shit all over our religion. And which was bad, right? That was a desecration. But then what made it really bad was the response to it, which was, let's just pretend nothing ever happened because it doesn't fucking matter, right? And he's like, oh, you're going on about this again? Yes, because it matters, because we're living in the results of it, the predicted results of it. So yeah, so we essentially have to eat a bit of shit and be very thankful that Trump's president, because it would have been much, much worse if Harris had been. But people are pissed off with Trump for not being more full. Like, again, he wants a photo op of the hostages being released. He wants to be thanked for it, right? He wants to look good. That's who he is, right? He looks after the Americans, right? He looks after America. I think on a theological level, I think he's the Messiah, the king of the nation of Edom, right? So he looks after them, right? He likes us. He's good to us. Don't get us wrong, but it's not our guy. And I just think if we introspected and went, you know what? We fucked up over and over and over again, right? If we in this specific way, and we got to do better, right? I think everything would have been. I think we will be crowning our own messianic king tomorrow instead of Trump. And again, I'm very happy that Trump's being inaugurated. hopefully. No, I'm very happy. But again, for me, it's bittersweet because again, we fucked this up royally. But there are good bits to it too, right? There are good bits to it. Let's start with the bad bits first, right? Like we're dealing with a bunch of freaking hostages, of savages, not hostages, savages, right? A bunch of freaking savages. So here they are celebrating, jubilant at their victory. And you know what? They're not wrong. They're still surviving. Again, if we wanted the hostages back, this is the only way, right? We would either have to evacuate the bases we set up in Gaza, and that's not good. I think it's a terrible idea. Or we have to give up all these savages, or more savages. So yeah, so they're driving around. Please us punch. Yeah, they look really ready for peace now, right? Really ready for peace. Oh, the Palestinians, they've been so impressed by the Israelis. They look pretty well fed. What I wouldn't give for an Israeli missile to fall there right now. Oh. I mean, right now when I saw it. Oh, God, I wish we could fight a war like you British or you Americans. Oh, that was so good. Fucking sad. Bars. And again, Gaza seems to be functioning fine. It's not the nightmare zone that we've been told, is it? Yeah. Again, a bunch of fucking savages. It's the only way of describing them, right? A bunch of fucking savages. So this is them, being wonderful, peaceful people when they when they started to release the hostages. Look at this. 3 terrified women, defenseless women, who have been held hostage for over a year, right? Surrounded by a mob of peaceful Palestinians.
إسرائيليين في داخل هذه المركبة. هذه الصورة المباشرة الآن هذه الصورة المباشرة سلمى هذه الآن
And you know the prisoners they're releasing, the murderers and rapists they're releasing, they're not going to Gaza, right? I just assume that will be part of the deal. You have to go to Gaza. No, they're going to Jerusalem and where I live, Samaria. I mean, like, they just can't stop being cunts. I mean, just like they just love a bit of cuntiness. Because they are. Oh, God, but, again, we wanted the hostages back. I mean, that's really the bottom line. We want the hostages back, and this is what it takes, right? If you want the hostages back, this is what exactly what it takes, which is, again, sucks up. Boy, look at the crowd. Do you see anybody starving there? Oh, they're starving. I mean, look, the fucking house, their tower blocks there to live in. Oh, no, the Israelis are genociding. Really? That's not what genocide fucking looks like. If you're experiencing a genocide, maybe you're like in this starving death. Maybe you're too weak to put on your terrorist green headband. Oh, man. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. And they terrorize these women until the last fucking second. Look at this. This is being handed over. Yeah. Hello, Akbar. They're all in the crowd. Again, terrified fucking woman. Girl, like 19-year-old, probably 20. Allahu Akbar means it kill the fucking infidels, especially these Jews. Maybe we should rate them first. Okay, so they're in the car. You think, fuck me, at last, they're out. And what they do, they climb on top. honestly, listen, I hope more are alive than I think, but I think it's only 20 or so. I'm kind of happy when we stop getting live ones back, because I think all bets are off at that point. Please, all bets be off. Fucking savages. I mean, that's just the only way I can describe it. I know I've been saying that over and over again, but they're a bunch of fucking savages, right? But they're okay. But this is what this is what we're paying for, right? This is what we're giving all these murdering rapist scum for letting them free for moments like this, right? And yeah, this is. I think it's worth it. I have to tell you, I do. I think it's worth it. This is a moment of family waiting to see their relative be free for the first time. But yeah, it's to me it's Can you imagine seeing them alive after all this time? It's more than you can hope for.
אלא שתי רגליים, הן הולכות זהן, אנחנו רק עוד לא מזדקות.
להבנתי, בראש עם החוד של הוורוד, רואים את שלושתם, אני יודע שחמאס מהרכב שלושתם.
You know, every single one of us in this country is with them, right? Every single one of us. We are. It's terrible what we've had to do to get them back, right? It's terrible. But we're so with them. Their joy is our joy. The girl's been released. They're about this age. Yeah, we're going to got a couple more clips of different families. Doink. Thank God. Honestly, yeah, I wish it could have been in better circumstances, right? I really do. And there's still, I think there's still another British citizen. There's still Americans. Oh man. Okay. My hope is the American hostages, which are almost certainly dead, after when Trump finds out, he goes apeshit, right? Like, but then again, yeah. How would America deal with Hamas? Right? There will be a lot more than 20,000 civilian casualties. And nobody would give a shit. That's the thing. Nobody would say a word, right? So look, there are a lot of people kind of pissed off and disappointed in Trump that he did. It wasn't a better deal for us, right? Essentially, but again, if you want the hostages back, this is it. This is the only way. But one person did give their thanks to the Donald.
Donald Trump. You have really made my dream come true, but it's not over. My dream is still going on until I see Emily and all of the other 98 hostages back in Israel.
I'm pretty sure she's English.
With their families. I just want to say thank you so much for getting and pushing that deal to be signed. I want to thank all the mediators and negotiators and anyone else who's been connected, to thank you from the bottom of my heart. But it's not over yet. Emily and the other 98 hostages are still not here. And we need to get them home as soon as possible and keep them alive. until they are here.
That's the thing. If this deal, this is the same deal Israel agreed to in May, I think. Probably we could have got 50 more back, right? We probably could have done a lot better. But again, you're dealing with a as you see in England, right? As you see very clearly in England, you are dealing with a backward savage culture, right? And they are backward fucking savages. You know, look, here's the thing. The people who were on the side, let's look at that clip of them being released again. The people who are on the side of the people with the terrorists with guns, right? They are evil. Yeah, are you on the side of the defenseless women? No. You're on the side of the fucking savages armed to the fucking teeth. And I love the way they cry like bitches when they get punched in the fucking face by Israel. It's and again, look, I can't express to you more clearly that than this picture. What a backward fucking idiot culture they are. It doesn't look like they've just gone through a genocide, does it? Looks like they're quite fucking happy about it. But again, yeah, this is what it's for, right? This is what it's for. And, you know, it's a bitter pill to be a better person, let me tell you. But thank God they're home. This is what this is the facility they set up for them to be, like, decompress into. This is the, like, waiting lounge. And they apparently green is a soothing color. I know. Yeah, I had a neighbor who was in a special forces in the army, a search and rescue, and it's a real high level special force. He's a doctor, right? And he was the because it's search and rescue, right? He was the one of the people. I can't remember which hostages it was. It was in the first few months of the war, right? Maybe 6 months in. And I remember he told me, like, he picked him up, right? And he was so light because he had lost so much weight, right? He was so light. And he said he got them into the helicopter, right? And as they're flying out, right, they have to fly out with all their lights off, because otherwise they're a target, right? They fly, and as soon as they got into Israeli territory, the lights go on, right? And he says, "Look, you're home. You're in Israel." And he like. Which these girls are going for the same thing. And you're home, you're in Israel, and he pointed to all the different as they're flying over it, like that's Haifa, that's this, that's that, right? Man, how can you tell you? People should know when they're beaten, right? No, Hamas doesn't, because they're not beaten. Because again, they're such cry bullies. They cry and cry and cry, and all the bleeding hearts. Yeah, you have a combination. The idiot bleeding hearts go, "Oh no, Israel murdering children." Didn't England murder a lot more children? Oh, fuck you, Jew. No, like Israel murdering children. So you got that part of the coalition, the Starmer part of the coalition, and then you got the Muslims. So the Muslim community of England, fuck me. I don't know how you could look any worse. Frankly, I don't know how you can look any worse. Yeah, we won't vote for you if you give us any grief about our rape gangs, our racist rape gangs that target children, our racist paedophile rape gangs. Don't say anything about our racist paedophile rape gangs, or we won't vote for you. That seems to be you're a pretty shitty person, right? That seems to be you're a pretty shitty, awful community. Again, backward fucking savages, right? If you are more concerned about being called out about your racist paedophile rape gangs, which are an epidemic across England, rather than dealing with your racist paedophile rape gangs. And your Jew-hating marches, which are still going on. Fuck me. Yeah, look, I'm sorry, Jews are still alive. Yeah, and they well, you call everything anti-Semitic. Well, yeah, I do. Anyway, let's talk about things slightly less depressing. The awful state of Doctor Who. A bit of Verada see-through action. See-through, not see-through. And I like it's the TARDIS giving her the truth one. I'm new companion Verada see-through. Sethu, are you excited for the new season of Doctor Who? No one is. No one's thought about it. No one cares. No one's excited at all. In any way, shape, or form. I don't care what you dress in, darling. And the tragedy is it might be a great season, but it's not going to. It might be a great season, but no one cares anymore, darling. Yes, TARDIS, you're right. Doctor Who and the Apathy of Doom. New season of Doctor Who, a new season of Doctor Who is coming, and no one gives a shit as the queer era slides into total irrelevancy. Yes, it does. Again, everything's fanfic after Capaldi. Neil Gaiman, maybe one day someone woke won't be completely full of shit. Maybe. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. It's weird. They think, oh yeah, after a year and a bit in captivity, people want beanbags. Okay, I guess being above ground is good enough, right? Let's get chat. Noah is here. Oh, are you here? No, that's good. It's but your timestamp of your comment is 4:35 a.m., which is before I set up the stream. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh no, I do hope you. By the way, not this week. Last week, Noel was on Dad's channel when I was on it. Awesome. Oh, if you are listening, Noel, you were such a great addition to the panel. I do hope you become more permanent. I said the same thing to Dad, and Dad said the same thing to me. Yeah, it was great having Noel on. Right, really, really, really loved hanging with him. D, what's the most who is the most overrated of all time, and why is it Neil Gaiman? No, Alex Kurtzman's most overrated, right? No, Rusty Davis. Right? I mean, Neil Gaiman has a fair bit of talent. I guess I don't even know what he did. I've been waiting to read the story when I go do it on the show, right? On the channel. I don't even know what he did, but like. It doesn't take away from it. Sandman was a very well-written book. He's just an idiot woke fuck as well, right? Two things can be true at once. I would say Rusty Davis is a he is now a far more overrated writer because he's honestly Rusty Davis. He hasn't really had any major success. But no, It's a Sin. That was excellent. I disagree. But other than that. He hasn't really had any success outside of Doctor Who, like since Doctor Who, I should say. Jonathan Cox is here. Peter Rich says Alex Belfield is coming back, and it looks like it was a BBC setup because he was leaking nonce information. Okay, I wonder where he went to. I just realized the other day I hadn't seen him for a while, and I know he was kind of like at war with the BBC, and I liked him a lot. So I really don't know the story with him at all. After 2017, lost me, says Jonathan Cox. They lost most people. I'm starting to put two together with Byfield and getting 4. Well, I'm assuming that there's a lot of paedophilia in the BBC, right? But yeah, listen, I always like to start. I didn't even know she left. That's the where is Rouge. The latest rumor is the doctor's a clone. No, not an awfully good one. Because he's nothing like the doctor. You're going to clone him, make him look like, Tom Baker. Hazard Thornbrush. So you want to watch out for Hazard Thornbrush. He's back under a new name. I wonder what your original name was, right? Where are we up to? PD Rich says, well, you can always return your prisoners to unalive. What I would love to do is put some kind of explosive device in the neck, right? And then when we get all the prisoners, all the living ones back, we detonate them, blow all the heads off. No, is it? How you doing? 2 bitches we don't even want. Who are the 2 bitches you don't want? Oh, that was 15 minutes ago. I don't know. Where we were? Fine. Was Darren M is here. No, there is a ceasefire right now. No, it's which is good news for me. My son, is he back in Gaza? I mean, look, for me, having a ceasefire is great, right? It's because again, it gets my kids out of harm's way. London's backwards savage culture. Well, because it's been taken over by Sadiq Khan. God, again, that clip I think I showed yesterday of him refusing to answer about rape gangs. Fuck me. Again, I just don't understand how Muslims are okay with looking so incredibly bad. The Armageddon says, my prayers are with the hostages and their families in Israel. Please, God, all the hostages will return safely from these animals. They're not going to. They're not going to. About 20% will, I think. People do not know when they are beaten. The skeletons fall out of the closets 5 to 10 years' time. That's actually a fair point, right? I mean, look, they when at the end of World War II, when the Nazis' back was broken, right? They there's no way they could win. They expected everybody to kind of give up. All the Nazis fine. They expected them to give up, but they fought more ferociously because I don't know they were sold a bunch of bullshit, I think. But they are a minority country. Labour only got there because 1/3 of the country bothered voting. Yeah, I understand. Come on, reform, maybe. Come on, reform. This crying is for European leftists. Okay, who was the crying? It must have been, but it was the. Maybe I don't know. Doctor is finished. I'm just watching old stuff now. Kind of. Here's the thing: the current era has put me off the entire modern era, right? I almost exclusively watch classic Who now, right? John Scott just watched Spirit from Space. Yeah, I was never happy with the Blu-ray edition of Spearhead from Space, the nesting, right? It never really worked. In fact, the nesting that worked the best was from Alton. Do I have a copy of that? Here, what's it? Let me show you the one they did for the special edition. The Blu-ray special edition. Hang on. It's over here. Doctor Who folder. Doctor Who. Third Doctor. Man, I am looking forward to season 7 coming out. Yeah, Terror of the Autons, I think. Oh, did you say you watched Spearhead from Space or Terror of the Spearhead from Space? My mistake. Let's see if I. Yeah, I think this is the new effects edition. Do they? Where is it? No, it was before this, wasn't it? It was something with the radio telescope. Yeah. So here. The floating octopus in the air. I just think that looked kind of stupid. Honestly, the original vague white glow was way better, right? Do I have Alton? Let me have a look. It was Alton 2, right? And man, I think they should really re-release those Alton 90s spin-off here. 90s spin-offs. Hang on one second. Let me see if it's on the YouTubes, right? Alton 2 CGI nesting ending. Let's see if that comes up with something. Alton 2, what was it? BBV? I think it was BBV. Behind the scenes. Let's just say CGI. Let's see if that comes up. Outtakes and behind the scenes. That's the first one. Cyberons. The Cyberon never looked very good. I don't think I even watched it. You know what? I'll convert it to an MP4. That's what I'll do. Because I really want to show it to you because it's actually very, very good. Hang on. We got to go over here. And then there. There we go. And look, the 1990s when we first saw that, it blew my mind, right? It absolutely blew my mind. How long is it? About an hour long. Okay, let's see how long it's going to take to convert. It's going to get a fair clip. About 5 minutes. 5. Okay, we'll look at it in a couple of minutes, right? 8-bit Snip Boy says, 8-bit Snip Boy, thank you for joining. As is Lucy Meow, 8-bit Snip Boy says, I completely given up on you. Oh yeah, fine. Camcan Crash Course is here. And I think I caught up, right? Yeah, fans could afford to buy the IP. I would. Me too. I honestly, if I could afford it, I would just keep, what's his name? Callum, the guy who did the Celestial Toy Maker fan recreation. Fantastic, that is. I will keep him working absolutely constantly, right? Absolutely. I would have, yes. And I would do my okay, if I was a billionaire and I had like lots of disposable money, I would do my own special edition. I'll pay somebody to do a special edition of the 5 Doctors. I would have the chess when the Simon go the chessboard thing. The best one was like the 1990 something new edition where they had like it was like lightning that took them out. I would have the Time Scoop look kind of like the one in the 20th edition special edition, but instead of being a column, I'd have it be was it a pyramid, like a black box pyramid. I'll have the whole thing widescreen, and I have all the Gallifrey scenes have a like a red hue, right? So it looks like modern Gallifrey. I would totally do that, right? I would totally do that. Anyway, while I think it's good, let's talk about something I've been meaning to get to for a long time, right? Because this finished over a week ago now, and I would like to do a series review here. And the easiest way to do it is by going through the titles, right? 1 second. Creature Commandos, right? Creature Commandos. I really genuinely love this show, right? I absolutely adored it. Right from the titles. Does it go? It doesn't go straight into the. Yeah, you have. Firstly, I like the animation. So this was its biggest mistake, right? It had these guys who are clearly Antifa, right? Be right-wing losers instead of left-wing losers, right? That's basically it. That was the only problem, and I didn't really have such a problem with that. I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. I'm sure they're those types of people as well. So. If you've seen James Gunn's stuff, right? If you've seen DC stuff, or even Marvel, if you've seen the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, this is exactly in that world, right? It is seamlessly and perfectly in that world. It's the same setup as Suicide Squad, except they're not allowed to use humans now, but they can use non-humans, which is essentially monsters, right? So what you have with this show is many elements working together. Again, like most of James Gunn stuff, you have many elements working together. You have a good script and a good plot, right? That's engaging and keeps you interested. It's very funny, right? It's very fun, and it's got a great sense of humor, right? Again, as everything James Gunn's stuff does. But this was 8 episodes long, 8 episodes long. And what they did, and I think they did very well, is they concentrated each episode on a different character, and they gave them so much more depth and life. Right? It was you did fall in love with these characters, Creature Commanders. Let's look at the titles because it lists all the characters.
Monster, also known as.
Okay, yeah, 1 second. Indira Varma as a bride. This is actually some of the best thing I've ever. I like Indira Varma, right? She's been in pretty much everything. The worst moment was when she was in Star Wars. Was it the Andor show? Where she was like beating up Imperial officers, and it looks so stupid. Yeah, see if I can find that clip on YouTube. Indira. I'm spelling her name wrong. Indira Varma. Oh, that was spelling it. Indira Varma, Star Wars Attacks Guard. I think, and it's like it really is. It was just embarrassing, right? It was a genuinely embarrassing moment where No, I can't find the clip, sadly. It was a journey where she was being escorted by two, I don't know, Imperial officers. And she basically goes, and she gets away from them. It's really weird, right? She plays this in like full-on Cockney in this one. And what works about it is she's sexy in it, right? She is sexy. She is a psychopathic killer who's essentially in charge of the group, right? She's the most capable one, and she's playing the bride. So you find out in her episode, she literally is the bride of Frankenstein, right? They bring in Frankenstein and the bride of Frankenstein into this, and how like she basically fell in love with Frankenstein. Noel says Crypto was the best thing in the trailer by a long way. I love Crypto in that trailer. I absolutely love Crypto in that trailer, right? I loved a lot about it. Noel doesn't think it's going to be good. I've got a lot of high hopes for this. Again, the tone of his work is, generally speaking, freaking excellent, right? So watchable, so enjoyable, with so much heart, right? And you can say the same thing about Peacemaker. And if you haven't seen Peacemaker, that's a huge recommend, right? It really is, because again, you take these somewhat two-dimensional characters and silly comedic plots, and then add depth and pathos and meaning to the characters. So again, so you do you by the time you reach the finale, you know who all these people are, and you, rather than being two-dimensional monster characters, they're genuine characters that you care about, and you see that so little in today's entertainment, right? Have you ever seen a character you cared about in Star Trek? What's it called again? Discovery. Of course not. No one cares about any of those characters. It was at Lower Decks. Those characters were not just you didn't care about them, you actively hated most of them, right? So being able to make believable characters that you cared about with good performances and good animation, and make it fun and make the story interesting and have turns in it, I think that's a huge win, right? I think that's a huge win. That's The Bride. Okay, yeah, so this is his brother, I think, playing both. Yeah, Sean Gunn as G.I. Robot and Weasel. And again, both these characters get given huge amounts of character. I mean, like, you see the G.I. Robot, right? I think he's with Sergeant Rock, isn't it? When he flashes back, I can't remember, right? And how he gets like sold for surplus after the war, and he ends up being sold in private hands, and eventually gets bought by a bunch of American neo-Nazis, and he's psychopathically hates Nazis and wants to murder them all. So that's what he does, right? And then Weasel, who was in the Suicide Squad, has a really genuinely sweet backstory, and again, you just end up liking him and caring about him. Alan Tudyk as Dr. Ross. Alan Tudyk is great in everything. He genuinely, and like when I first saw him in Firefly, and then like like he didn't strike me as being like such a great actor. I think if an American played Doctor Who, Alan Tudyk will be fantastic. So he plays Dr. Phosphorus, who is like radioactive and able to like melt people's faces off or melt himself through metal doors or things like that. And again, once you get his backstory, it's so tragic. It's very much like Alan Moore's Killing Joke, right? Where his wife is brutally murdered, and he was going through this crime stuff to save her. So it's very similar to Killing Joke. But again, he comes out. All these characters come out as really damaged and still human, right? Even though they're all monsters. Again, another great character. Her backstory is more interesting than her actual character is in the show. She's definitely the weakest character in the show. Oh yeah, and David Harbour as Frankenstein. Yeah, so again, they're bringing Frankenstein right. He's a psycho. Oh, he's very violent as well. The show. It's like I love how violent it is. Right, it makes it fun. Right. So he's completely in love with the bride and has been searching to get her back for all these years. So since she was born, and again, David Harbour does a good job of doing like the lovelorn, lovesick puppy who's also a incredibly violent psychopath. So he really pulls that together. And Frank Grillo is Rick Flag, who I guess the father of the other Flag who was in the Suicide Squad. So again, he has an interesting story. They're sent to this European country to defend the princess who will soon take over the country, and he does have a torrid sex scene with her. I think in the first episode. Let's have a look. Right. She's like again, and she like throws herself at him. But the sex scene is generally speaking very good. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, that would be over there. Or maybe it's a bit later. Maybe it's in the next episode. I can't remember. I don't know. But again, it's funny. It's funny and it's fun, right? That's how I would describe it. The plot has lots of twists and turns. You have somebody you think is a villain, is a hero, is a villain. I like all that a lot. I think that's really works. Noel says, my issue is that he is adapting comic book characters, but remember people out of never read a Superman comic, just seen the shows and movies. That was a big reason I hated the Suicide Squad. See, I didn't know any of the characters in Suicide Squad. I just liked the movie. I thought it was fun, right? I really did. I thought it was fun. And I liked a lot of the actors. Like Michael Rooker, you can put in pretty much anything, and I want to see him now, right? He was great. I liked Harley Quinn. I thought she was way better than she was in the first one, and she has a psychopathic. How would you describe it? Fight sequence where she murders lots of people, but instead of blood, everything is like these pretty hearts is superimposed. Like it was really good, right? It was really good. What's his name? Idris Elba was clearly playing the exact same character as Will Smith, just with a slightly different name, right? And I like the villain with the thing that goes on their faces, the alien, the kaiju. So yeah, look, I mean, for me, I look at these things as a newbie going in, right? And we were talking last night on Dan's show about the Daredevil trailer. Now, I love Daredevil. I love Born Again. It's one of the greatest comics ever written. Right? It was absolutely fantastic. It really is one of my favorite comics. I think it is one of the greatest comics ever written. So this new Daredevil Born Again show looks nothing like that. It's going to have nothing. It won't be similar in any way. They're basically just using the words "born again" to reboot it into the Disney Channel. It's as close as it is to the comic book as Moonraker was to the from the book to the movie. Right? Not at all. But it does look like an exciting piece of drama. I'll give it a go. Right? It's got me on board to give it a go. I'm also going to give Andor a go when that comes out. They're saying that. Who's it? Skydance, so J.D. Abrams' company, have hired a analytical firm, right? That has advised them to rest Star Trek for a number of years, right? Just end all the stuff that's going on with Secret Hideout and just let it lie fallow for a few years, and then bring it back with like a much more traditionalist Monster of the Week type thing, on a starship. Or you could just bring Terry Matalasson to do Star Trek Legacy, right? Because all the different Star Trek shows being in different timelines, it's just confusing. The whole thing is a shit show, right? But they are the what's the things they're looking at? Like the ratio between cost and impact was really, really bad, right? They spent a ton of money on it and nobody watched it. Essentially, that was the worst for Discovery. Lower Decks did much better because it was much cheaper, but it also looked much deeper, right? JJ was on Terry was on JJ's side as well. See, one of the reasons I have hope for the MCU and Marvel is that he's doing the Vision TV show, and I think he's a huge talent, right? I think he's absolutely a huge talent. The Armageddon says, "I love the Netflix Daredevil, but can wipe my mind what they did to Daredevil and Kingpin. Not sure I will watch Reborn. I can't write. Well, what do they do? Did they have them sleep together? I mean, it sounds like the kind of thing that they would do, wouldn't it? Right, it does sound like the kind of thing they would do. Oh, hey, let's have a quick look at the first use of CGI, right, in a Doctor Who, which was Doctor Who spin-off, and their representation of the nesting consciousness. There you go. This one's way better. It's like 30 seconds of CGI. We freaked out when this happened. Yeah, I'm sorry. That is a way better nesting consciousness than the one they did for the new effects of Terror of the Autons, right? It just is. It's a much more convincing and scary one. Yeah. This just worked out well. Let me just compare again. I showed it earlier. I'll show it again to the one that they did on. What's it called again? Terror of the Autons. Or maybe it should be called Terry of the Autons. Is this over here? You can just see it kind of coming into reality there. Yeah, that doesn't look as good. I'm sorry. And like the original wee little smudgy little glove thing of light look better, right? But the best one, Alton 2. Alton 2, totally the best one. Fine with that. Let's move on. We have look at that. Fine, we're done with that. That's a story. That's a story. Where are we going to next? Oh, we've got to cover that too. Okay, that's important. We'll start over here, I think. And then, sorry, I'm just getting lined up. There you go. That's where we're going. And then the thing over there. No, fine. Okie dokie. So let's start with this. Like, is this real? I don't know. I don't know if this is real. Oh my God, should we start with this actually? This segues quite nicely into the Neil Gaiman. I think I showed this the other night, but it is funny. It is genuinely funny. Where am I? Go over here. Share screen. Doink. And over here. There you go. Found it. So Neil Gaiman came out as a bit of a massive perv. Again, I still don't know what he's done. Hopefully we'll get to it this stream. Who knows what their stream? I don't know, as we can't rewrite his. They're talking about this guy had deleted his account apparently for some reason. We're saying like, what are we gonna do? Neil Gaiman's written for Doctor Who. What are we gonna do? Right? I don't know, as we can't rewrite history, sadly. Why is this? No, live with history. Don't try and rewrite it. He's written for the show either way. I'm not sure forgetting he ever did. I'm not sure forgetting he did ever is the right approach. Why would you want to? Like, honestly, why would you want to? It's just so silly. Yeah, separate the art from the artist. You know, that's. So I didn't know Sensory had this as a stream going on right now. Asking a very good question. Does New Who hate Classic Who? I'll answer for you. Yes, they absolutely do. The best thing is maybe add a content warning. What are you warning about the content? Like, this was written by somebody who's a perv? Okay. I think having Jinx Monsoon in was equally problematic. And enjoy these stories because the actors and the other creators. No, enjoy the stories because they're good stories, right? Actually, they might enjoy the stories because they're good stories. So anyway, we had this breaking news today, right? Guessing the rumors of being a season true are true. I wonder what Doctor Who film locations dropped it. Very well deserved that was the case. No, not well deserved at all. I'm sorry. Right? Generally speaking, reviled. But again, you know, it's like they just don't care. Bottom line is they just genuinely don't care about their audience, the fandom, but the audience in general. Nobody wanted Dr. Ruth, right? Nobody's interested in her. I would love to know what the sales figures are on Big Finish for her box set, right? But even that looked like the best thing they did. But you know, very well deserved this. Okay, Jo was wasted in Flux. That is true, and she did much more screen time. If you cast her instead of Jodie, it would have been better. Her costume didn't really work. She didn't really work, right? So someone says, if this happens, I will be very intrigued. I'd love to see a return, but I don't know how her plotline can be introduced seamlessly to new viewers. I think you can on D+. Season 1 was a beginner-friendly season. If you ignore the dog. What dog? What dog was in season 1? You're talking about Sutek. God, that was awful. And the Timeless Child is definitely not beginner-friendly. Yeah, you really want to just move away from that. I think Russell this time round is not so focused on confusing the general public. I think he's more open to the fan service sort of thing, which is a good and bad thing depending how you look at it. Well, it's going to be bad because the fans you're servicing are toxic weirdos. Don't service those fans, right? Not even with a hand job. That's a bad idea. But I'd love to see more of Joe. No, I wouldn't. Have to agree. It will be confusing to the general public. I don't think that's a consideration at all, right? I don't think that's a consideration in any way, shape, or form. No, it's not. Okay, it's not. Again, Rusty Davis seems to only have bad ideas. It's really weird because he used to be so great, and now he literally just has bad ideas. New Schalke Doctor content. Oh, God, I hope not. Look, this looks like for the Doctor Who game, the mobile game. And they're like, okay, fine. What you get? You've drawn a new character. What that cost you? Like $25 on Etsy, right? It's like I don't know. But I guess because he was in Rogue, his picture was in Rogue. They want to make him more. It's a good way to sell games because I'm like, oh, Schalke Doctor, that's nice and interesting. That's nice and out there. Never mind. I mean, it's a way to sell games, and it's not really going to. I don't. Who plays these? It's really beyond. It's really beyond me. Who actually plays these things? I've never been that bored. I actually haven't played a game on my phone since Angry Birds. They're kind of just games on your phone just really kind of fell out of style. Weirdly enough, I used to love playing the games on my phone. I never play a game on my phone now. I only just realized that. And generally speaking, I find this game to be crap. Doctor Who Lost in Night. I found it to be crap in general. I'm sorry, but it is. So not sure what to tell you. but it's crap, right? By the way, with Big Finish's most of their output being crap and me severely cutting back on my Big Finish orders, it's made me completely lose interest in listening to what I do have. I've got two stories to listen to so far. The War Doctor Rises, and I've really liked that range, right? I think Jonathan Carey does a great job as the War Doctor, as John Hurt, right? I think he really absolutely nails it. And I find generally, apart from they did 2 box sets which were a bit naff, where they had this Stunning and Brave Woman that was the key to everything, based on her, and it all kind of like just revolved around that character. What's her name? I can't even remember the name of the character. Peter, it says manipulating women and having sex with them. Doesn't every guy do that? I mean, like, look, I think it would be better. I think it was better when we were monogamous. We got married to have sex. And I know it's a very old-fashioned attitude, right? But I think life was better. I think life was better then. And if you're going for a hookup, then yeah, it's all about conning women into having sex with them. That's Neil Gaiman, right? It is a very common thing. I don't know. Can't be it better. Poetry Gurning, says Matthew Pounder. 100%. I do tend to agree with you. We did have sad news, right? Richard Benjamin passed away. Christopher Benjamin, not Richard Benjamin. Richard Benjamin passed away years ago, right? Christopher Benjamin passed away recently. There's a Lisa Bauman put up a tribute. Now, if you don't know, Christopher Benjamin was half of the double act of Jago and Lightfoot. It's he was the Jago part. Lightfoot died a few years ago, and it's a shame. Here, let me pull up the Jago and Lightfoot range. Of course, the new Big Finish, ever since they tried to renew the site, takes forever to open up now. Right? It's like, just takes forever. And but this, they did like 13, 14 series, and they were all generally speaking very good. Right? And then, they had to end it because, what's the name? Lightfoot died. Right? Oh, look at that. Audio books. Worlds of Doctor Who. Jago and Lightfoot. Yeah, this. Run through it for a second. Oldest first. It's always the way to go with Big Finish. They're missing out. Man, these are quite expensive. They're too expensive, in fact. Like $21. And as for like, how old is this? This is from 15 years ago. I'm sorry, $21 from 15 years ago is it's too expensive. It's really okay. This should be $8.99. $8.99. How many? It's a 4-disc thing. 5. Yeah, 5. $8.99. Digital, right? That's what it should be. But they don't have like his first one there. 1 second. Oldest first. There you go. The Mahogany Murders. This is a really good one. Okay, this is only under a $5. But this is the first time they brought back Jago and Lightfoot, right? And then they span it off into its own range. And again, it was a very successful range. So how many they did? 1, 2. They brought in, what's his name? They brought in quite a few characters. But first they like kind of set up their own world, right? What's the name of the guy? David Collins, right? David Collins, who was good, but again, they really developed their own identity as a show, as a series. And then it was the third one they did. They brought in Leela, and Leela bounced off them very well, right? That really very much worked. Series 4. I can't even remember that. Oh, no, this is the one that had Leela and Colin Baker in it. Right, they were very much experimenting with bringing it into like the main Doctor Who universe. Is this the one set in the 60s? This is actually my favorite one, where they travel in time to the 1960s, and you got Jago hosting, like, what's it called again? The Good Old Years. Or is it the next one goes to the 60s? Is this the one in the 60s? I don't know. Maybe it's not the one. They're back in London. I think this does look like the 1960s one. I don't remember. Hang on. It's 6 seasons. Okay, this was the 1960s one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they get caught in they get flung forward into the future. But they were just such a lovely double act that it really worked. So yeah, then they sort of go back to its own thing and not like bring him into other event, the larger Doctor Who world. This one with the Scorches, they were great. Scorches were introduced in a Joe Grant. How can I find it? One sec. Who wrote it? Oh, in the Companion Chronicles with Joe Grant. Let me see if I can find that. Hang on, the Companion Chronicles. The Companion Chronicles. Let's have a look over here. I could just look at Katie Manning, because it was like about halfway through the run, so it's going to be quite a ways to find it. Man, again, these should be $1.99 maximum. Actually, 99 cents. I really think they would sell a lot more. Right, and again, they've made their money off it. No, that's not it. Finder in Place. What was the Scorches? Essentially, it was an alien race that looks a lot like they came out of Bagpuss. They looked a lot like felt puppets, right? And they're very much in the 1970s TV landscape. This is the one. The Scorches, right? They were great. They're absolutely great villain, right? And they're so bizarre. Big recommend, right? Big recommend. Anyway, so yeah, they bring the Scorches in for that one. Okay, just a fun series. This one I don't remember anything about at all. What's going on here? Oh, this is one where they go on some kind of world tour, as I believe. This was okay. Wasn't great, wasn't awful. It was okay. So yeah, they went on for like 5 years, and we're still going strong. Toby Adoki's in this one, apparently. I can see him on the cover. And again, I can't really remember what it's about. But I think then they were like going back to like bring it part of his own continuity, and then they popped it out with the Colin Baker Doctor and the Jeffrey Beavers Master, both of which work very well. But $36.49. It's just too expensive. I'm sorry. It really genuinely is. And it breaks my heart because I would like more people to read this. Now, is this the audiobook series? I can't remember. Was it still in? When did he die? It's because when was it Trevor Baxter? Who was it? When Trevor Baxter finally passed away, I think it was pretty soon after this, right? It's it was on a cliffhanger, and they wanted to wrap it up. I thought they should have done it as a comic book, right? They should have got what's the name of the artist? He was here. 1 second. It is Titan 4th Doctor Who range. Who did the art on that? It was Brian Williamson, right? He would have been perfect for this, right? He would have been absolutely perfect for the job. And I think it would have worked better than the books on tape that they did. Right, so here they're in a parallel universe, and so they to get back, they at the end of the episode, they finally get back to their own universe, and then Trevor Baxter dies, right? So they finish it off with a series of 4 audiobooks. And look, the problem I have with audiobooks is they're too bloody long. So yeah, this is 649 minutes. That's how many hours is that? 6, 12, 18, 24, 480, blimey, 540, 600. That's what, 13 hours? That's just a lot of time you asked me to put into it, right? And then what's the Jaeger and Lightfoot Forever? I think I got this one as well. This was like what is it that when they finally wrap up everything, and I think they use what's it called? I think they use clips from Trevor Baxter to be able to tell the story, right? And then they also had Jago, Lightfoot, and Strax. Again, worked really well together, right? Worked really well together. So that's Christopher Benjamin. So now, yeah, the other half of Jago and Lightfoot also sadly no longer with us. On behalf of the family, I've been asked to officially share the announcement of the death of the wonderful Christopher Benjamin, actor, father, husband, and friend. Yeah, he was in Doctor Who, not quite as often as Michael Sherr playing different roles, but he was at least 2 different roles in Doctor Who. 3. Didn't he play a government minister in the Pertwee years? I think he did. It is a great sadness we announce the death of our father, Christopher Benjamin, at the age of 90 on the 10th of January. One of the few, well, it's not that long ago. One of the few remaining old school actors. He had a huge and extensive career spanning 70 years, encompassing theatre, radio, TV, and film. Beloved by all who knew him, and his final stage appearances as full staff at the Globe in the Merry Wives of Windsor in 2010, where he led the company and created a sense of bohemia for all that were just to cite it as a highlight of their career. Tissue. Christmas love for acting started in Warminster School, but he took part in the productions and excelled at acting, cricket, and music, but not much else. He studied at RADA, where he met his wife of 65 years, and I thought that's lovely, being married for 65 years. Oh, good for him. And he'd been a regular company member of the RSC over the years. No doubt he'll be probably remembered from his bottom. Oh, okay, we're talking about Shakespeare, right? Not and like again, if they say that about Shooting Gatwa, they're talking about his arsehole, right? He appeared in numerous iconic TV shows, including The Avengers, The Prisoner. Oh, he was good in Prisoner. Doctor Who and the Full-Size Saga, plus Sherlock Holmes. Which Sherlock Holmes? Christopher Benjamin, Sherlock Holmes. Which one? He sounds like he would be in there, but which one? Hang on. Christopher Benjamin. Benjamin Sherlock Holmes. Dr. Huxtable, man. What story was that in? The Priory School. Yes! He was the headmaster of the Priory School. That's a great home story. That's a really good one. Midsummer Murders and Pride and Prejudice. He also had a long-running audio drama based on his Jago and Lightfoot after starring Doctor Who from Tom Baker's time. He leaves behind his wife, Anna, his 3 children, Kate, Sebastian, and Amelia, and his grandchildren, Bertie, Madeline, and Sam. And, of course, the dearly beloved dog, Minnie. He gives his gardening, his love of gardening, birds, cricket, and, of course, music, art, and theatre live on in them. That's what I get. Very sad. It's a very nice obituary written by a loving family that clearly surrounded him. And there was a lot of warmth in his performance, and I think that warmth showed from him because he seemed like a very decent, warm guy, right? So Godspeed there. Was it Christopher Benjamin? Thank you for all the really fantastic times you gave us, right? If you want to buy something in tribute, this is the only one I can really recommend. 486. It's a really good story as it happens. Andy Lane. It's a really good story that really totally works. Doing 5. Let's look at this. 10 wild Doctor Who theories that actually came true. The Doctor's gay. I don't want to leave it alone. Number 10, River Song is Amy and Aurora's daughter. Well, that rumor only really started after the Impossible Astronaut. It wasn't like when she first appeared. All right. Where was it? Everything in pregnancy wasn't made clear in the also people, blah, blah, blah. But again, it really... it only became a fan theory like, I don't know, 2-3 episodes before it was confirmed. That's not really like a long... long... River Song is a Doctor's wife. Well, that's how they introduced her. Right? And again, they paid that off with Capaldi, which really worked very well. I'm not really comfortable with the Doctor being romantic, right? Or having a sex life. I think it's a mistake to go there ever, frankly. I think you could have got away with it one time with David Tennant and Rose, and beyond that, it's a real mistake to go back there. But the thing is, people just have to keep going back to that because they can't write anything without sexuality in it, right? That's just what the modern age looks like. The Master and the Doctor have a love-hate relationship. That we knew that from pretty much straight away, right? Their best friendom is that that's not news. That's not a fan theory. Who wrote this? Rebecca Sargent. Have you never seen Doctor Who before? We knew they did. Torture's Gang Cooper is related to Gwyneth from the Unquiet Dead. Again, that was the first episode, I think. These aren't fan theories. These are plot points. It's weird though how what's her name looks much hotter as Gwen Cooper than she did as Gwyneth. Saxon survived the last of the title. Again, we saw they picked up the ring. We knew he was coming back. This is a dumb article. This is a dumb article. What the hell? Doctor's name is actually Doctor. No. What? Well, this theory is answered in a rather indirect, strange way. Doctor Who did confirm the Doctor's name was Doctor. They said he chose it himself, but that's not his real name. He took it because he wants to make people better. Yeah, I think you're reading it there. Doctor is actually created at the time of bullshit, boring bullshit. The Timeless Child was in for one reason and one reason alone: to make the Doctor less white and less male. And that's it. That's the only reason the Timeless Child was there. Rose Noble comes from the meta crisis. No, Rose Noble comes from mental illness and Russell Davis' mental illness, where he thinks that people with penises are in fact ladies. They're not, right? They're not. I'm sorry. The Doctor's jacket change from Flesh and Stone wasn't a continuity here. Finally, we get to number 2, and it's the only valid one I've seen so far. All right, yeah, that was a brilliant plot point, right? If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. That was absolutely brilliant, right? I generally like that. I remember people saying basically get about halfway through the season. It wasn't that quick. People came up with it. So again, it was like for about no more than 6 weeks, I think. The 12th Doctor looks like the fires of Pompeii's Theseus for a reason. Again, they're just explaining it. They're giving some... Please. That's a dumb article, right? That's a dumb article. 10 great theories that still haven't been confirmed on the night. Okay, then that's we're into theories. Let's have a look. No, I'm not going to log in. Piss off. What's your theory? Doctor Who's meddling monk was actually the master. That's dumb. No, the meddling monk was the meddling monk. They're a very different character. I mean, unless you can count the Sacha Dhawan master, which is the meddling monk. 10th Doctor's enemy was Enemy of the Beast was a member of the Doctor's Pantheon. No, I mean, stop with the Pantheon. Saturnine's Master became before Michelle, no one cares. And he's not canon. Go, and don't get me wrong, I like Session 1, right? I thought he could have done well with the Master. Missy, I thought was excellent, though. Right? Michelle Gomez, I thought she was absolutely one of the best Masters. Missy is the last incarnation of the Master. Again, whatever. So at the end, by the way, when she's shot by the John Sim Master, right? She knew that was going to happen, so I'm assuming she wore some kind of like shielding to stop her being killed. The Timeless Child is a Pantheon's got to like, go away. Mrs. Flood is a past companion. I doubt it. One Doctor Who fan suggests the Mrs. Flood is Anita Ben, who was in the Christmas episode. Whereas I would say she's Rani or Clara. Clara's the most likely because at least she dresses like her. Time Lord's weaponized regeneration in the Time Warp. No, please, fan wank shit. Cal from the Library is a version of Clara Oswald. I think you're trying to hammer that. Yeah, you're trying to hammer a square peg into a round hole there. One of the Claras, actually Charlotte, Abigail, Lux, or Cal from season 2's two-parter, Silence in the Library and the Forest Dead. Although most versions of Clara are still called Clara, the Oswin variants prove that there's a possibility out there with different names. But she's not played by, Jenna Coleman. Is she? Although most versions of Clara are still called Clara. Who plays her? She looks like Jenna Coleman. I don't think she is. Yeah, no. Just stop trying to read into this. Dreamlord becomes a Valiant. I think that's stupid. No. They haven't been confirmed or denied because these are crap. Roger Atquillum is Ruby Sunday's brother. Well, that makes as much sense as the rest of the bloody episode, I guess. Stop. Doctor Who Season 15 teases makes Anita's return more likely. That's interesting. Now, again, I found her a very dull character in a kind of a dull minute as well. So why do they think she's coming back? Has a connection to the upcoming finale? I don't know. Couldn't bring back. And look, if they do bring it back, who cares? I mean, honestly, like, really, who gives a crap? I certainly don't. Right? I really genuinely don't. Why would anybody care? Again, this is what I mean about Doctor Who having no buzz whatsoever. I mean, just look at these articles. They're like fishing to say something, right? Julia Garner's Doctor Who film schedule cost the actor a role. A strong Oscar contender with 96% Rotten Tomatoes score. Yeah, he didn't take a job because he had another job. After last season's season appears Sutek. After Sutek last season, season 25 has been setting up a main villain from the 5th Doctor's era. Who are we talking about? An Eternal from Enlightenment? I'm bored to hell with the Pantheon. And I guess Mrs. Flood is part of the Pantheon. But again, who cares? Honestly, genuinely, who cares? I do not know. All 18 Doctors Christmas New Year special ranked include. Oh, let's see what the rankings they gave them. And I think you can include the Jodie ones. Doctor Winter Order about 18. It's certainly the weakest of the Matt Smith ones. Is it it's not weaker than if there's no Jodie in there? That's fine. The Return of Dr. Mysterious. So what went wrong with that one was the direction. The script was actually quite good, but the guy directing it couldn't do superhero movies. Didn't understand superhero movies, so the special effects were very flat when they should have been much more dynamic. It was the wrong production team. Okay, no, Revolution of Daleks goes right at the fucking bottom. It's a Jodie episode, you moron. Revolution of the Dalek. I mean, she couldn't even say it fucking right. Now, is this a objectively worse? Yeah. The way, like, she goes the Daleks going into the here, let me show you that clip. Oh God, it's so awful. Oh, she's so smug and awful as the Doctor. Let me see. I think I have that. There we go. Over here. It's Revolution of the Dalek. Oh God, she's so awful. Where is it? I have a Jodie folder somewhere, don't I? Is it in? Where'd it go? Doctor Forever. Did I put it into the RTD2 folder? That would be weird. Yeah, I did, I guess. Trying to combine all shit Doctor Who together. No, I don't. Revolution of the Dark. I do not have that one. And why would I? She's so awful. Right, hang on. Let's have a look. Doctor Who, Revolution of the Daleks. Doctor faces Daleks. Oh, that's the one where she was trapped in jail and she couldn't get out until Captain Jack rescued her. All right. That was just very unimpressive, wasn't it? Oh, this is it. This is it. And the best bit about this clip is Nicholas Briggs. But like, there's one where she smugly gets him to go into the TARDIS or go into the other TARDIS. Yeah, here it is. Oh God. Fine. Okay. I know this is excruciatingly bad, but I think it does illustrate the point quite well. Hang on. Doink. She is so unconvincing in everything she does. Like, this CGI Dalek is more convincing.
The Doctor is an enemy of the Daleks.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. She's not the Doctor. You're not the enemy of it. Again, she's so unconvincing.
Yes, I am. I called you here and you came like obedient little pets. Thanks for solving my problem.
Daleks are not pets of the Doctor. Attack the TARDIS and exterminate the Doctor.
Yeah, so she cons them into going there, then kills them all because she's not a hero. Hang on. Is this it? Oh, I don't. She's so awful when she explains stuff. Like, genuinely awful. Right, and she kills all the Daleks. After calling them there. Oh, God. She's so not heroic. Yeah, no, you're wrong. That's at near the bottom of the list. Resolution. No, that's at the bottom of the list. Oh, fuck me. Church and Ruby Road. Okay, I guess I better do my own ranking then. Hang on. New folder. Let's have a new file, I should say. Revolution of the Dalek. Doink. So we had Doctor with the Wardrobe, the Doctor, the Weirdo, and the Wardrobe. Second. Then Return. There was that. I would put it's hard to say, isn't it? I'm going to put the Return of Dr. Mysterio above that. The Return of Dr. Mysterio. One of the reasons that I'm ranking that up a little bit is because there's a great scene at the beginning where he where he's interacting with kids. Capaldi, when he interacts with kids, is just fantastic. Revolution of the Dalek at the bottom. And then resolution below that. Resolution. I mean, it's not even Christmas, it's a New Year's story. Church on Ruby Road. I'm going to put above that. Because, again, that's my favorite shooty episode on Ruby Road. Before we saw how awfully badly it was going to go. The Snowmen. Look, that had the sexiest Clara in it. That's Snowmen. I'm putting that above the Return of Dr. Mysterio. Eve of the Daleks. That is the best of the Jodie specials. Eve of the Daleks. I mean, look, that was really Eve of the Daleks' biggest problems were they had 4 problems. 1, Jodie Whittaker. Fucking awful. Right? Doesn't know what she's doing. Is one of the truly worst actors I've ever seen. Actors I've ever encountered. Right? That was problem number 1. Problem number 2 is Chibnall reuses the same trope as they get the 2 Daleks to shoot at someone, and they duck and they shoot each other. Right? We've seen that many times before, including in Doctor Who and the Daleks with Peter Cushing. Right? That's the problem number 2. Problem number 3 was Creepy Nick, the weird stalker guy who was the hero for some unknown reason. I just can't work it out. But other than that, it was actually, I think, the most solid of the Jodie specials. Now, Last Christmas was great. I just watched this recently, right? It's a really great story. There's only one minor problem with Last Christmas, and that it should have been Clara's last episode, and she should have been old, right? And they should have moved on to a different companion, right? That's the biggest problem with it. Second. So Last Christmas, I'm putting above the Snowman. Last Christmas. I really do like Last Christmas. If you haven't seen it for a while, I really recommend giving it a go next Christmas. Joy to the World. So I'm going to put that. I'll put it over here. Joy to the World. By this time, we worked out how annoying Shooty was. And you put that number 10? Are you kidding me? Watching Judy Gavin's 15th Doctor traverse Earth's history without using a TARDIS results in a very energetic affair. Yeah, but not a good one. Voyager of the Dam, that's one of the good ones. Although, again, if I was a billionaire, I'll pay some special effects guy to do the fight at the end between Kylie Minogue in the forklift truck and the villain. That was clearly supposed to be like the fight at the end of Aliens with the power loader. Voyage of the Damned. So, Husbands of River Song. No, I prefer Last Christmas to that. Honestly, I think I prefer the Snowmen to that. Yeah, Husbands of River Song. Okay. Runaway Bride, I think, is one of the best. Yeah, I really like Runaway Bride. I'm putting that right at the top. Runaway Bride. The next Doctor I'm putting above that. Love those Cybermen, the Victorian Cybermen and the Neil Morrissey Doctor. Although he was only the Doctor for about 7 minutes. The next Doctor, and I even like the Cyber Shades, right? I thought they were cool. Christmas Carol, that's got to be number 1, right? They put that number 5. What's better than a Christmas Carol? That is absolutely the gold standard in Doctor Who specials. Christmas Invasion, no, I didn't like that so much because the Doctor wasn't in it that much. I'm putting that way down. I'm putting that below the Snowmen. The Christmas Invasion. Okay. Twice Upon a Time I liked a lot. I'm putting that in the number 2 slot. Twice Upon, and I know a lot of people hated the William Hartnell in it. I quite liked it. I mean, I like kind of like making fun a little bit of what TV tropes used to be. Time of the Doctor. Well, Time of the Doctor, I only recently found out was supposed to be a whole season. right? It was supposed to be his final season. It was going to do a full season, and it would be him aging slowly, and the whole thing would have been set on Trenzalore. So I'm going to go Next Doctor. No, I'm putting Next Doctor above it. It's above Runaway Bride. The Time of the Doctor. And what they have as number one? No, End of Times 1 and 2. No. That was the weakest one that Tennant did. So self-indulgent, right? I'm putting it over here. It goes just under Christmas Invasion. The End of Time. Okay, so that's their version here. I'll show you my version, which is infinitely superior and more accurate. Also, sorry, Cookie, my favorite Christmas special was Voyage of the Damned. What was great about Voyage of the Damned, it was a legitimate disaster movie, which is so Christmassy, right? It's so Christmassy. But I would say, okay, my number one, absolutely A Christmas Carol. I love that. Absolutely. That nearly perfect Doctor Who. Twice Upon a Time I liked a lot. Look, I like it as well for many reasons. I remember when I was waiting to go to my dad's funeral. Like in Judaism, you bury people like the next day, so there really wasn't that much time. And yeah, so we so while I was waiting for that to happen, I really couldn't do much. I put on Twice. It was shortly after it was broadcast, so I put on Twice Upon a Time again, which dealt with death, right, and dealt with like should the Doctor die. So for me, that's very, very poignant. I like that one a lot. Next Doctor, I thought was, again, I love the Cybermen. What manner of man are these? Cybermen, right? That was great. Time of the Doctor, again, a little bit packed, but otherwise good. Runaway Bride, very Christmassy, right? I really do like that episode, right? I just like those other four more, right? Voyage of the Damned, same thing. Last Christmas is really worth a rewatch. So why are we on the top 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. Number 8 is Last Christmas. Number 9 is Christmas Invasion. And again, the time makes it into the top 10. Right? Husband's a River Song. It was a bit lightweight for me. Return of Dr. Mysterio, very badly directed. The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. It was just too frothy, and then we get into like the cosplay Doctors. But again, that would be my Christmas ranking, right? That would totally be my Christmas fare. Is there anything else in the whole Doctor Who thing going on that we're interested in looking at? Okay, let's look at this one. The 10 most underrated stories of all time. Right. Okay. This is what I mean about Doctor Who being irrelevant. Have you noticed there's no new news? And you know why? No one's interested. No one's interesting. Where we go? There we go. So what are the most underrated stories? The only problem with the Invasion of Dinosaurs is the awful dinosaur effect. Which I'm hoping when they release it, they'll redo them because it really needs it. Although they didn't redo the T-Rex effect for the Silurians, which I'm kind of miffed about, right? Paradise Towers, no, it's a shit story, right? Andrew Cartmel says if we cast a couple of things differently, it would have been a lot better, and filmed it on location. It would have been a lot better. They wanted to they say if they didn't cast Richard Briers, who was legitimately awful in the role, but also Pex was terrible. They should have had this big muscle-bound guy playing Pex. Boomtown, that was not so bad. It's just it was a filler, right? But this was still Rusty Davies when he could write. And he's underrated over underrated. Gridlock, how is that underrated? I love Gridlock. Gridlock's one of my all-time favorite Doctor Who's episodes. One of my all-time favorite Rusty Davies ones. And Tennant ones. I thought it was beautiful. The only thing I would have changed with that is I would have made the macro the people who did the plot to poison the earth, essentially, and then they got caught in their own poison and they devolved, right? I thought that would have made it a little bit little bit better. 42. Look, even Chris Chibnall can deliver a good episode. What's wrong with 42? That was great. There's a lot of great moments in that. I love the moment that Martha was ejected from the main ship, right? And yeah, let's show that clip. Because there's a lot of pathos in there. There we go. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Let's hide this in 1 second. So this will be 10th Doctor. Be season 3. Not gridlock. Allows a 42. Here we go. Oh, Doctor Who, when it was good and people liked it. But there's a bit where she's ejected from the ship, right? Oh, yeah, this is it. Awesome. I'll save you. Yeah. How well directed is this? And isn't it great the BBC finally worked out how to do sci-fi? Yeah, I'm sorry. That's look at the special effects. Why are they spending all this money nowadays? For what, right? And again, I just found that little silence clip. Really? Who's it underrated by? All right? Who is it underrated by? Unicorn and Wasp? Again, who's it underrated by? It was a solid historical character episode. Town Called Mercy, it's not underrated. It was just a bit naff, right? Sadly, that whole season didn't really work that well. I mean, I liked Asylum of the Daleks. Most people didn't, and the Angels Take Manhattan, but again, most people didn't. I'll tell you, Power of 3. No, that's shit. Okay. That is a shit story, right? You can forget that and it will never make any difference in your life. Go away. I'm the Lake Before the Flood. I think that's a solid story, right? That is a really solid Doctor Who story. And with good twisty-turny mysteries, a great cliffhanger, very creepy, base under siege. What's not to like about it? I don't understand. It takes you away. How is it underrated? It's overrated, if anything. I mean, Exhibit A, yeah, that means it's overrated. Mate, I mean, if you're going to do a space frog, why not make it look like a frog, not like a latex doll? I don't know what to tell you. Oh, Dan, how you doing, Dan? Fighting Infinity. Oh man, I bailed out about 15-20 minutes before the end of the show last night. I was cream crackered, mate. Making a meal and hanging out here. Movie night time. Oh, Dan, what are you watching? Anything good? I don't know. It takes you away with shit. Will you shut up? God's sake, It Takes You Away was super duper shit. Is there anything on What Culture? No, What Culture has not put out a Doctor Who story for how long? They normally date them. Yeah, for 20 days. That's how irrelevant Doctor Who has become. All right? That's how. By the way, the 10 best moments of Doctor Who in 2024 and the 20 worst moments of 2024, they're basically the same. Weirdly enough, right? Totally weirdly enough. Okay, I think we got most of them. I haven't done Neil Gaiman's story, but I'm still kind of tired. Still recovering from being sick. What can I tell you? Is there any update with the hostages? We get any new pictures? Tell you again, those people are fucking savages, absolute savages. By the way, and if you see them smiling when they get out, that is because they drugged them before Hamas drugs them before they release them. Oh man, I hope they're okay. I hope that look the UN or what? Not the UN. Fuck them. The Israel security have said they're okay. Oh, do we have some pictures of them? Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, again, it's good to end on a highish note. Here we got that one. What's this one? There is footage of capturing the moment that Romy, the hostages were transferred to from the Red Cross. Let me download this. Right. Look at that. I mean, I guess this news is breaking, right? Beirut's not looking so good anymore. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Fine. I'm really glad we're looking at these pictures now. I might, I might shed a tear. I'll warn you now. The idea of trouble carrying resources was landed in the ship and medical center in Tel Aviv. This is just, you can't really see anything. It's pitch black. Fine. Let's have a look. Go. We have this picture here, and this picture here. Those two. Fine. Let's share the screen. So this is a moment where they starting to be reunited. Right, that the woman in pink is the one who was kidnapped, and her mother, and that she's with her mother. Let me see if I can tell you exactly who she is. Doran Steinberg sobbing in the arms of her mother. I mean, like they must have thought they were never going to see the light of day again, right? I'm so happy for them. I am so happy for them, really, genuinely. Thank God. Right, thank God. And where's the other? The other picture's a lot more upbeat. And this is Romney going in the arms of her mother. Well, at least she seems good. Share screen. What's that? Oh, I just hope they get to rest and relax and recuperate. Honestly, again, it's a shitty deal. It's a shitty, terrible deal. And I'm very grateful for it, right? Genuinely, I'm very, very grateful for it. This is the price we have to pay. I'm glad they're home, but it's a shitty deal. Man, we are getting shafted big time, right? Really big time shafted. And then there's one more picture I saw. So this is what we've been waiting for. Emily in the arms of her mother, speaking with her brother. And again, I'm so happy to see them home. I just am. I just am. And we got fucked we got fucked in the arse with this deal, right? I hope when they get all the living hostages out, they tear it up and they just decimate these fuckers. Oh man, I hope that happens. Now I have to wait and see. We do have to wait and see. And then here they've got one last bit of video footage. We're just thinking about it. No, not the runaway bride. Although I think that would probably be more fun. What's this one? Yeah, this is when they were transferred from the Red Cross. So this is the first time they came to like Israeli territory, right? Well, okay, they're releasing the most healthy ones first. I'm so glad they're still alive. You know, there's another 98 there. I'm so glad they're still alive. Must be so surreal. Must be so surreal. That being said, let me see if I can find this post before we go. Hang on. History. It was an X post, but I closed it down because I thought I was done dealing with it. Notification. Hostages. No, that was not it. Oh, maybe this is it. Here, let's have a look. These are sick fucks. I'm sorry, these are sick fucks. Hang on, let me see if I can find this. This post, which I thought was very, very. It was very clear, you know. Like again, who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? So I'm talking about the Beavis boys. Man, Trump's talking about it on social media, and like look again. This is all about him wanting to. He wanted this done before the inauguration. I think that's why we got fucked in the ass with the deal. The hostages were forced to wear necklaces of the Palestinian flags during their release. Can you imagine if the Palestinian prisoners were convicted murderers, not innocent hostages, were sent back wearing necklaces with Israeli flags? Yeah, we would all be racist cunts then. Yeah, absolutely, right, 100%. That's who we'll be. God, these people are sick fucks. Right, genuinely, they are sick fucks. Can I find this post? I think I'm about to give up. Right, I think. Oh, is this it? Well, this isn't the post I was looking for, but I think it says it all. Right, it really says it all. Share screen. Doink. Afarat Erefir was sentenced to life in prison after raping and murdering a 19-year-old Israeli woman in a terrorist attack. These fucks, again, fucking savages. Hamas wants to exchange him for a 10-month Jewish baby they kidnapped on October 7th. Anyone calls this a prison exchange is scum and should be placed on a terror watch list. I can't fucking disagree with you, right? We're trading that for this beautiful little baby. But again, if you want the baby back, that's what you got to do. Honestly, I just hope they put explosive charges on all their necks and blow them to fuck. A month from now, I would have zero problem with it. Right, zero problem with it. Fine, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, I guess, is inauguration day. I'm off for inauguration day. Right, I'm very happy to be inaugurated. Don't get me wrong. But I think I'll probably post a Doctor Who Newswalk video tomorrow. Who knows? Or dare say, fine, I am back on. What day is it? Sunday, Tuesday. I'll be back on Tuesday for more fun and frivolity. I'm going to hit the end broadcast, but I'm going to hit it again.